Promises Unfulfilled, The Saga of 40 Acres and a Mule. Introduction. In the aftermath of the Civil War, the promise of 40 acres and a mule emerged as a symbol of hope and reparation for the formerly enslaved African Americans. This narrative explores the historical context, the origin of the promise, and the subsequent betrayal that left a lasting impact on the quest for racial equality in the United States. The historical context. As the Civil War drew to a close in 1865, the United States faced the daunting task of reconstructing a nation torn apart by conflict. The question of how to integrate newly emancipated slaves into American society loomed large. The Freedmen's Bureau, a federal agency established to assist freed slaves and poor whites in the South, played a key role in addressing this challenge. The promise. General William T. Sherman, a Union Army commander, issued Special Field Order No. 15 on January 16, 1865. This order allocated confiscated Confederate land along the southeastern coast for the settlement of freed slaves. Each family was to receive up to 40 acres of land and, in some cases, a mule to assist with agricultural labor. This promise was envisioned as a means to provide economic autonomy and self-sufficiency to African American families who had endured centuries of enslavement. The betrayal. The hopes inspired by the promise of 40 acres and a mule were short-lived. With the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln and the shift in political dynamics, the commitment to land redistribution was undermined. President Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, reversed some of the Reconstruction policies, including the land distribution plan. The Freedmen's Bureau, despite its initial efforts, faced numerous obstacles in implementing the promise. Many white landowners opposed the redistribution of their land, and political compromises further eroded the commitment to reparations. As a result, the vast majority of freed slaves never received the promised 40 acres or a mule. Legacy and impact. The betrayal of the promise of 40 acres and a mule had far-reaching consequences for the African American community. Denied access to the economic resources needed for true autonomy, many freed slaves found themselves trapped in cycles of poverty and dependence. The broken promise also set the stage for the systemic discrimination and economic disparities that persist to this day. The narrative of 40 acres and a mule remains a poignant symbol of the unfulfilled promises made during the Reconstruction era. The episode highlights the challenges of achieving reparations and economic justice for Black Americans and serves as a stark reminder of the complexities inherent in the pursuit of racial equality. Contemporary reflections. In contemporary discussions about reparations and social justice, the broken promise of 40 acres and a mule is often cited as a historical precedent. The enduring impact of this unfulfilled commitment underscores the ongoing struggle for economic equality and the need for comprehensive measures to address historical injustices. Conclusion. The promise of 40 acres and a mule represents a pivotal moment in American history, symbolizing both the aspirations and the betrayals of the Reconstruction era. Understanding this narrative is crucial for comprehending the persistent challenges faced by the African American community in their quest for justice, equality, and economic empowerment. As we reflect on this historical episode, it is essential to recognize the unfinished work of repairing the damages inflicted by centuries of slavery and systemic discrimination, emphasizing the importance of continued efforts towards a more just and equitable society.